Okay, for this segment we're looking at how to work a cable or how to knit a cable, and for the demonstration purposes I'm going to do a C4B, which is cable 4 back, and a C4F, which is cable 4 forwards. Now when it says cable 4, it's actually referring to 4 stitches in total. You won't be taking all 4 of those stitches onto your cable needle. So for this one we've got 4 stitches and I'll only be picking 2 of them up. If you were, for example, doing a C8B, you would pick 4 of those 8 stitches up. But let's get cracking on this little bit just to make it a little bit more user-friendly for you. So I'm going to knit the first 2 stitches and then I'm going to purl 1, and just assume that that is the side edging of the piece that you're working on. Now the first one I'm going to do is the C4F, so that is where you're cabling 4 stitches and you're doing them forward. So what we first of all do is get a cable needle and we take 2 of the 4 stitches off and we leave them at the front of the work. That's the F. So we're cabling 4 forwards. Then you knit 2. Okay. Then we've still got these 2 here and we're going to now knit the 2 from the cable needle. Just normal knit stitches, you're not doing anything fancy. So that then comes away. So on this you've left the stitches at the front and they're veering off in that direction towards your left hand side. So that's C4F. And I shall do one more in the C4F just so you've got 2 to look at. So that's 2 stitches off onto your cable needle, you bring them forward, then knit 2 from your left hand needle, and then you take your cable needle and knit the 2. Okay, and then I'm going to purl 1 and just knit 2, and that's like a mini version of like a mini arm or part of a sweater. So you can see how they've come forward and your cables are both veering over to the left. I'm now going to work just 3 straight rows. Often with a cable you have, if it's 4 stitches long, the actual cable repeat will be every 4th row. So often it's worked in that. It can be worked more, so you could have 5 or 7 rows between each cabling. So it's always usually an uneven number in between. So it'll either be 3 rows of work or 5 rows of work or 7 rows of work, depending. So this bit is just really simple, where you, on this particular one, you are purling all your purl stitches and knitting all your knit stitches. So this is just plain knitting and purling across the back. So that's one of the rows. Because if you cable too close together, it gets too bulky and you lose definition. Some patterns want you to cable nearer together, and that's fine, but for a general cable pattern there's usually 4 stitches, 3 rows between, so you're cabling on your 4th row. So I'm just again doing a simple knit and purl row. So I'm knitting all the knits, purling all the purls, and then just need one more row because we want all these to appear on the front of the work. So these four here, I'll show you this in a second because it'll show you how the back of the work should look. There are times when it's useful to know what's happening on the reverse side as well as the pretty bit on the front. So this is the reverse side, and you can see how you've got sort of a lumpy bit here. That's correct, that's just what you want. So that's got your twists there. Now the next one that we're going to do is going to be the C4B. So that's where you cable to the back, put your needle to the back. So again, we just knit the first 2 stitches, and then I'm going to purl that one. That's a combination that you often get in your Aran style patterns. So to cable back, you take the 2 stitches off and then hold them at the back of the work, and into the front you knit your next 2 stitches there. Then this needle here at the back, you bring it slightly more prominent and you knit those 2 stitches off, and you can see how you've ended up with sort of a little lump there. And again, that's correct, this is in quite a lot of patterns. If you cabled the other way, you'd get a slightly different twist to it. I'm just going to do you one more. So I'm going to purl the 4 in the middle. Okay. And then again, we take 2 off, put them at the back, knit 2, and then pick this needle. Don't twist it, you don't want to be doing that with it. You need to keep it level, keep it flat. Knit 2 off there, put your needle somewhere safe, purl 1, knit 2. So there, you can see how that's given you a different slant. These are going over to the right, those went over to the left. So that's your C4F, C4B, and how to work it. Okay, thanks.